Big international story that we're following. Defense officials in the United Kingdom are denying reports that Russia fired warning shots at a British ship near Russian waters in the Black Sea. The Russian military says yes, it did fire shots near a British destroyer because the destroyer was ignoring warnings against moving into Russian territorial waters in the Black Sea. Of course, a volatile part of the world right now with Ukraine and Russia. The British Defense Ministry says that's not true. No shots were fired. They say the Russians were undertaking military exercises. Now, if it turns out this actually happened, it would be the first time since the Cold War that Russia used live ammunition to deter a NATO warship, of course, the Soviet Union at that time. Sara Mitchell is my guest, political science professor at the University of Iowa, focus on international relations, knows Russia as well. Sara, good to have you with us here on CTV News Channel in Canada. What do you think happened here?
Well, as you said, there's two different versions of what happened. So Russia is claiming that they warned the HMS Defender because it was inside the 12 nautical mile territorial sea area. And so within 12 nautical miles, countries have the right to prevent ships from entering or sailing in those areas. And so they were telling the British ship to not enter there. The British government is saying that their ship remained in the contiguous zone, so between the 12 nautical mile and 24 nautical mile space. So in that case, they would have the right of passage through that area.
Talk to me a little bit about how volatile that part of the world is. I mean, you've got Ukraine and Russia and the ongoing conflict there in East Ukraine. Obviously, to a certain extent, the Russians see the Black Sea as theirs, so to speak, although other countries would disagree. And they have a large naval force in that part of the world as well.
Yes, so the Black Sea is very important not only for the large naval base at Sevastopol in Crimea, but also because it's a major port for by which most of Russia's oil and gas resources get transported through that region. And so Ukraine became independent in 91, and by 1997, Russia and Ukraine had negotiated a land and maritime boundary. However, they had disagreements over the delimitation in the Sea of Azov. And so there were sort of ongoing disagreements, and Ukraine continued to lease the naval base to the Russians, but they had a series of disagreements over the price for that lease and various issues. So in 2018, Russia fired on 3 Ukrainian vessels in the Sea of Azov, and that was one of the more recent clashes. And Ukraine is not a member of NATO, but there's cooperation between NATO countries and Ukraine in that area.
Mm.
And Russia, feels threatened by the fact that 3 of the 6 countries on the Black Sea, Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, are all NATO members. And NATO also maintains cooperation with Ukraine and Georgia. So essentially, Russia is surrounded by NATO in the Black Sea.
It's interesting too, Sarah, because at the end of the day, we may never know what exactly happened. But even just from a propaganda point of view, for the Russians to say we fired at that destroyer to get it out of our waters or warn it off, I mean, even that to a certain extent sends a message, does it not, on the part of Moscow to the rest of the world?
Yes, because if true, as you said, it would be one of the most serious engagements between Russia and NATO forces in that region for a very long time. Recently, though, the Russians claimed that 2 other vessels were in the same Crimea port and claimed that they had information from their automatic identification system, or AIS. And it turned out that the U.S. Naval Institute said that that was not true, that those ships that they claimed to be in Crimea were actually sitting in a port in Odessa. And so this is an example where the AIS information that tracks where ships are can be falsified.